Visa and Mastercard dominate the global payment processing industry. But if you could only invest in one, which one truly deserves your capital? This video will help you see the full picture, so you can decide based on your own risk tolerance. First, let's talk about stock growth. If you had invested in one of these companies back in 2010, which one would have rewarded you more over time? To answer that, we focus on CAGR, the compound annual growth rate. CAGR shows the average annual return of an investment over a long period. Not every year is equal, but it tells us the big picture. In Visa's case, the stock delivered a CAGR of approximately 20.63%. That means an average annual compounded return of 20.63% from 2010 to 2025. Now, let's look at Mastercard. Mastercard posted a CAGR of roughly 22.97% over the same period. Slightly higher, but meaningful. Over long periods, small differences matter. And because of that, Mastercard wins the first round. Now that short-term investors are satisfied with this video, now let's move on to what long-term investors really care about. Next, we analyze fundamentals. There are hundreds of financial ratios, but to keep this focused, we'll start with a key one: the assets to liabilities ratio. This ratio tells us whether a company's assets can comfortably cover its obligations. Visa reports over $99 billion in assets and around $61 billion in liabilities. That gives Visa a ratio of roughly 1.61. Plenty of coverage. Mastercard, on the other hand, holds about $53 billion in assets and $45 billion in liabilities. That results in a ratio close to 1.17. Yes, Mastercard can cover its liabilities, but it has far less flexibility. Now let's talk about long-term debt, because debt matters. Visa does carry long-term debt, so does Mastercard, but Visa's cash, restricted cash and investment securities are enough to fully cover that debt. That provides resilience during economic stress. Mastercard has nearly $19 billion in long-term debt, and its cash and investments do not fully cover it. That doesn't make Mastercard weak, but it does reduce margin for error. Because of stronger balance sheet protection, Visa wins this round. The score is now tied, 1-1. Now let's move to earnings per share. EPS tells us how much profit is generating for each share outstanding. For long-term investors, this number is critical. Visa's EPS grew from 2.32 in 2015 to 8.81 in 2024. That represents an EPS CAGR of about 20.98%. Mastercard's EPS increased from 3.35 in 2015 to 13.89 in 2024. That translates into a CAGR of roughly 17.2%. That difference seems small, but over decades it compounds. And in this category, Mastercard takes the lead. The score moves to 2-1 in favor of Mastercard. Now let's look at global presence. This is where scale matters. In 2024, Mastercard processed approximately $9.8 trillion in payment volume. That volume came from around 159.4 billion transactions. Impressive. But Visa operates on an even larger scale. Visa processed about $13.2 trillion in volume during the same year, with roughly 233.8 billion transactions. That is significantly more. Visa also operates in over 220 countries and regions worldwide, giving it unmatched global reach. Based on volume, transactions, and geographic presence, Visa clearly wins this round. The score is now tied again, 2-2. Now, here it comes the most important factor that will unmatch this battle, and that is my opinion. This is not a financial advice, and I am not a financial advisor, Both Visa and Mastercard are exceptional businesses. Either one could be a solid long-term investment. Mastercard has delivered slightly higher growth over the last decade, but Visa has built a stronger financial foundation. More cash, better debt coverage, greater global reach. Visa may sacrifice some upside, but it gains stability, and personally, I value strong fundamentals over maximum growth. Because in the long run, strong foundations matter. For that reason, my final vote goes to Visa, winning this comparison 3-2. Visa here is the winner for this video, but the decision is yours, not mine. Do you agree with this conclusion, or will you choose Mastercard instead? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Have a good day, and always keep learning.